All right, that was a good weekend for our team. I thought to go on the road and clinch the regular season is not easy to do, and I think you ask any coach in college hockey, and I think that is the biggest test. Is to try to run your regular season, especially look at our conference. There's, everyone's good. It's a totally balanced schedule. You play 24 games, two at home, two on the road, and for the guys to get that done, was huge. And I think too, the last couple of years we were picked to win it, and I think that's harder than when you're not. Everyone's gunning for you, and like I said, our conference is as good as it's ever been. So it was good. But now moving on to playoffs, exciting time of year, and so we don't know who we're playing, but I don't think that really matters this time of year, right? You got to be at your best, and every team you play is going to be good. And so we're going to have a great week. We've had a great start to the week of practice, and have a few more here, and be ready to go for Saturday.
Is this kind of fitting for the way you always talk about keeping it about your guys and your program and doing what you can. You don't know who you're playing next, and you can kind of just
Yeah,
your process.
yeah, I think that's we want to make sure that's our mentality. Respect everyone, and we're playing. We know this time of year going to play a good team that's going to be hungry, that's playing good hockey, right? So if you want to have success, you got to be at your best, and that's not going to change with who we're playing, right? We're gonna have to be at our best if we expect to have success, and we're looking forward to getting a chance to play another game at Munn. Our fans have been awesome for us, and I think you look at the past few years, the playoff games here, the atmosphere has been pretty electric, and expecting the same.
Coach, how much does it help to play in this atmosphere at home during the Big Ten tournament?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I think just for our fans to experience it, right? I mean, for years it was neutral site, and we're lucky, right? We get a lot of fans that travel and watch our team play, but for the people in town here that are able to get a ticket and to come in and feel the energy in the building has been awesome. So trying to soak it all in and try to play as many games as we can at Munn, right? And I think that's the goal when you start the year, and we got an opportunity to extend that on Saturday.
What do you think about just the change in the format of the tournament itself? I know you haven't played it yet, but
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think the coaches have talked quite a bit about it, and trying to find a way. And we have an odd number of teams, and I think really it goes back to, that last weekend there's a bye, and if you happen to win the league and you were on a bye, then you sit for 2 weeks, right? And then it's one game shot, and potentially you could. Especially us, the parity in our conference, right? You could lose in the semis and be sitting, or play one game in 5 weeks going into the tournament. And so, I think that's the kind of the goal of it, right? Is we want to try to make sure that everyone's playing at the most important time of the year, and I think this does it. And I think we'll assess it afterwards. And the nice thing with our conference, right? They're always looking for ways to try to get better. But hopefully this is a good thing.
How have you seen Caden's game grow over the course of this season, from even off-season workouts till now?
Well, I think he's gotten healthy. I think when you look at Caden when he first got here, he was still in return to play, right? He couldn't go up a flight of stairs. So I think the goal for number one is let's get you back playing and healthy, and he's put a ton of work in pre-practice, post-practice, so he can stay healthy. And I think as the year has gone on, he's moving better. And it's good to see him get rewarded with a couple goals. And he does a lot of things too. He's a physical presence on the ice, and I think where he's wanting more probably is production, and that's normal. But I think it's just focusing on habits and playing the right way, and I think he's doing that way better. And it's good to see him get rewarded.
What are some of the biggest things you think the team has proved, or areas they've grown throughout the regular season heading into the play?
I think we're I think our special teams has been, our power play's gotten better, down the stretch here, right? It's been, we don't go on the power play a ton, so I think that's kind of, and if you actually look at since we've been here, we haven't gone on the power play a ton, so it seems like the more reps we get in games, the better we get the second half of the year, and that's important, right? But I do think that side of it has been really good. I think our back end's really improved, and I think if you want to be a good team, it starts back there, and obviously Trey's a rock, but I think our D-Corps we knew coming in, we had some young guys, and there's a lot of room for improvement, and they've done that. And I think just, our depth, I think we knew that coming into the season, but, for Tommy to produce the way he has and Shouts to produce the way he has. And, you look at obviously everyone, sees Marty's numbers, but I even think like Rome's and Riker, how they produced as freshmen. I mean, it's pretty impressive, and we're going to need that, right? If you want to win games this time of the year, you got to have depth.
What's it like also this being a tournament where you have a group of guys who have also already found success in the past couple of years and kind of know what it's like to compete in that?
Yeah, I think that's, for sure huge, right? Guys that have been in these moments, right? And so, if you go back to, our first year, we won a playoff series, right? And that was, we hadn't done that. So I think, some of those guys are still here and remember getting a taste of that. And then, the past couple of years having success in our tournament and definitely lean on that. But we got some guys too, like, that have, played in some big games that are freshmen too. So, at the end of the day, you gotta lean on your leadership, and that experience matters. But once the puck drops, like I said, we're gonna be playing a good team, and we got to be at our best.